Con I ever went to is DerbyCon. That was a year ago. I don't want to cry right now. So my name's Eve Adams. I work for Haylock Security Labs. I am a recruiter. Sorry. Still love you. Awesome recruiter. Thank you. I'm going to take those compliments and I'm going to put them in my heart. I recruit pretty much exclusively for information security positions, and the reason I do this talk is that I'm a fairly technical person. I was once the world's worst sysadmin ever, because I hate users.
You were perfect.
Yeah, that makes you the world's best sysadmin.
No. What makes me a good recruiter is I know about people, and I know about what motivates people, and why you want a job, and what will make you happy in a job. And I pretty much exclusively staff information security positions. Stuff like that. So this is me, mostly hackers, mostly really technical people. I kind of have positions open for like governance, risk, and compliance. If you need an auditor, sort of ish, I have that, but mostly I'm hand-on metal stuff. Pen testers, incident response, people who speak assembly in their sleep. That's the type of thing I hire for. It's a little complicated. It's actually a really brilliant model of business, which you're welcome to steal for your own organizations. So we're an information security consultancy. We do pen testing, IR, governance, risk, and compliance. Everything you would imagine goes into a security organization. But we also find that our clients, say it's a bank or a healthcare organization or what have you, they're terrible at hiring security professionals. They're awful. They don't know what they're doing. Thumbs up. Insurance organizations. Thanks, Ray. So they don't know what they're doing. They have internal recruiters, and they're like, lol, what? Pen testers? And so they come to us after we've done a pen test for them, and they say things like, hey, can we hire one of your pen testers? And we're like, no, you may not poach our talent, but what you may do is...
They can't hear you in the back. The microphone, they can't hear you in the back.
Oh. Sorry, I'm used to being really loud. What you may do is... You like that? Got some shit from the thrift shop. So, what you may do in lieu of poaching our talent is you may, for a fee, use me, the hacker huntress, to hunt some hackers for you and to hire some security talent for you. So I used to live in staffing agency hell. Those are terrible places. I never want to go back there. I'm in recovery. Thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you. So for Haylock, like I hire people internally that we need, they say we need a pen tester, we need a reverser, and I'm like, yeah, okay, gotcha. And then sometimes our clients say the same thing, and I stick them in there. I also enjoy Ubuntu and IPAs if you're buying. So there's no unemployment in InfoSec, right? Waiting for a response.
That was a response.
Ish. Sort of ish. Not sure if trolling or serious. Right. So there's no unemployment in InfoSec, right? There's this myth. It's like there's no crying in baseball. If you're a baseball fan, you know there's a lot of crying in baseball, right? There is unemployment in InfoSec. There is underemployment in InfoSec. There are unhappy people in InfoSec. There are very angry people in InfoSec. I see a couple of you. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And that's why I have a job. That's why I have a job, because not everybody who's employed in InfoSec is happy. So we have this thing. Here's the basic premise. There's this gap, right? You have all the skills. You can secure all the things. You can hack all the things. Enterprises don't know how to hire you, how to use you. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know how screwed they are, honestly. And yeah, I'm seeing lots of nodding heads, like, yes, this is my boss. This is my actual management organization. This is the problem. It's not that there's too little talent. A lot of people have security talent. A lot of people are talented at securing things. They just can't find the places to go where HR and upper management is actually recognizing your value. They're clueless. So these are Bureau of Labor Statistics. These are all from the government, and I would never question anything the government tells me. But these are a little off, but they're a good working formula. So we have, they tell us 0.9% InfoSec unemployment in 2012. That seems kind of low to me, but still, as a working number, when we have 7% unemployment across the board in the country, pretty damn good. Security workforce in 2012, they say 52,000. Food for thought, there are 57,000 CISSPs in the United States. So that seems awfully low to me, because how do you qualify it, right? I mean, have you ever stood up a firewall? Does that make you a security professional? Have you ever administered a server? Does that make you a security professional? Ish. So statistics wonky. For perspective, those web devs we all love to hate, those jerks who keep writing terrible code. Job security, because terrible code. 4.7% unemployment in 2012. This is fun. I like this. All right. And the BLS, with their terrible statistics, is projecting 22% more InfoSec jobs by 2020. Who has the... Is that you? Will somebody please DOS that person? So I tell you all this because, yeah, I mean, functionally, you're all fine. You're all getting paid. The basic base salary that they say is average for a security professional, however we define that, which we obviously can't, is about $100,000. That's nice. That's okay. In a country where the average base salary is like $30,000, $40,000, it's pretty good. Not bad. I've seen way more. I've seen way lower. But you're all fine, but you're not all happy. A lot of you are unhappy. So what I'd like to talk about is how to get happier at work. We have this thing in InfoSec where we kind of accept that we're all miserable. Let's not do that anymore. How about we make this fun? How about we get paid to have fun? That sounds okay to me. That sounds like a good thing to me. Let's do this shit. So, y'all remember who was working in security back in the bubble days, like in the late 90s? Raise your hand, please. Did it suck? Yeah? How was the job market? Kind of meh? Meh. Because they were all hiring all these Java developers, and they were like giving 20-year-old Ferraris to come out to the Bay Area and just type horrible code into their ridiculous applications. Yeah. And you couldn't find a security job, really, because they hadn't defined security jobs. So the job market then was kind of meh. And now, the job market for security is friggin' awesome! Yay! Everybody wants you. Everybody is all over you. You got recruiters contacting you like you're the only girl at a con, and not that I know anything about that. But so because they hired so many Java developers and wrote such shitty, horrible code, they now need security professionals. So there's massive demand. But there's a problem with this, like I've been blathering about. Let's talk about these problems. You all have jobs. Not all of you are happy. What are the reasons you might want to move? Let's define these. Highly desirable skill sets lead to highly volatile job markets. If there's more demand and less supply, actually there's supply, but they're not really defining what they want to do, people are going to move. There's volatility in the information security employment market. Why? Money, bidding wars. Like I say, $100,000 is the average base salary. It's a nice round number for anybody working in information security. I've seen way, way more. I have jobs that pay 500 grand a year. I have jobs that pay 50 grand a year. And it's weird because the level of responsibility you get isn't necessarily commensurate with what you're securing. Again, this is a problem of definition. You just gotta wait it out. You just gotta wait for corporate enterprise to get a clue. It's gonna be a minute, by the way. So yeah, if you're a dollar chaser, this is a great industry to be in. If you are chasing money, cool. Yeah, stay in security. If you're not, if you actually love what you do, hang out still. There's a good reason to. General IT churn, anytime any new product comes out, so we have a new IDS IPS system, and all of a sudden the person who previously sucked and was boring is now the new hotness, and now we need somebody to stand this up. And oh my God, this industry got a clue about application security, and they realized that they need somebody to present cross-site scripting on their payment application. Then all of a sudden they'll be trying to hire all of you. So this happens a lot. Burnout, Jack Daniel has covered this in excruciating detail. Everything's always on fire. You're on call. Ray. Hi. You're not getting buy-in. This is a big thing. Management, the people with their hands on the checkbooks, is demanding that you do things and not giving you what you need to do them. So very quickly you're like FML and you burn out and you want to move. Got it. Part of this is working for idiots. Not getting buy-in. So security is one of those things. I mean, the metaphor people use is it's like insurance. You don't know you need it until you need it. Idiots who are in upper management oftentimes do not necessarily get this. And if you yell up, if you're like, yeah, we need to actually implement these security controls, or we need to actually have a security posture in this way, they don't listen very well. So you find yourself working for this guy. And that's why you move. Okay, so I've done to death why you would quit your job. Now let's talk about what you're going to do about it. I talk a lot in this talk about resumes. Please bear in mind, and please, I like an interactive talk, so please yell at me and say things and ask questions. What's up with the bunny ears, man? You are invisible. You're obfuscated. So I talk a lot in this talk about resumes because what I'm targeting here is that a lot of y'all you're brilliant, a lot of you make really dumbass mistakes,
And so I'd like to cover those dumbass mistakes and how you can resolve them, some break fixes for them, so that you can be happier at work. All right. No, not all of you. Some of you. Just the Windows admins. All right. So 3 top things I see in bad InfoSec resumes. Failure to verb all the nouns. Blocks of text that are just tools that do not tell me what the heck to do with them, that do not inform me how you may perform on an engagement or how you may actually benefit my organization. Just tools, just Metasploit, Nikto, Nessus, this, that, the other. I'm going to show you actual real examples of this. I'm using actual real examples of shitty InfoSec resumes that I'm using with permission. My candidates, I say, your resume blows. Can I use it in my talk? And they're like, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Y'all like to decorate your resumes for a weird reason? You like to bedazzle them? You know, yeah, I see you. Your resume is not a junk drawer. You don't need to put every single thing you've ever done in your resume, ever. Let's talk about this. The TLDR is show me what you got. No more, no less. Show me how you can perform for me. Tell me about what you're going to do for my organization or for my client. If you're a pen tester, tell me how you pen test. If you're a responder, tell me about responses you've done. If you're a compliance wonk, I'm going to pray for you. But tell me how you've implemented compliance. It's really simple. And this is part of my point. We're all such smart people. I think we overcomplicate this. It's really simple. Just say what you can do for us. Let's get into this. Let's see some crappy resumes. Oh.
Ouch.
Oh my.
I can't. I can't. So, all right, so this is nice. So this tells me, yeah. So this tells me every tool that has been in the office that this person worked in. So, somebody, anybody, what does this person do?
WTF.
Yeah.
That's what stands out.
Yeah, it does. So this person, we think, is a pen tester-ish.
No.
No?
No.
Not a pen tester.
He might think he's a pen tester.
I think
All
this,
those tools, he's not a pen tester.
I'm right there with you. I think this is a Vuln scanner.
Yeah.
But a Vuln scan is the same thing as a pen test, right? We got a Vuln scan, so we're secure, right? No. So the point of this, all right, I do want to see these tools. I do want to see what you've worked with, what tools you've used, but I want to see what you've done with them. Verb the nouns. Say, yo, I used, let's find it, Metasploit somewhere in there. Say, yeah, I started with Metasploit. What? About a minute. So cool. So tell me that you started with this Vuln scan and then say, I went on to exploit all these shitty vulnerabilities in this person's stupid web app, and tell me in what ways you did it. But just putting this in a chunk, like in your job description or way down at the bottom of your resume, useless. Don't do it.
So what happens if you're submitting your resume to somewhere that will do a keyword search before it goes to HR?
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I promise you, I will get to that. I will get to that. So this is fail, but I will. That is an important question, and I will address that. Fail. Oh. Your resume is not a race car. You are not in NASCAR. I do not give a shit about the fact that you're a semantics certified specialist at all, ever. One thing that's often pointed out, where's my, okay. So it would be neat if they put the CCNA like up into the crotch of the RSA thing. So I'm going to talk, hi. I'm going to talk about certs. I am very neutral on certs, but people call me or they email me and they say, if I get a CEH, does that mean I'll be a good hacker? Yes. No. If I get a CISSP, will you hire me? Will you give me a job? Any organization that's going to hire you based on you having cert, $cert, to hell with them. They're bad. Don't work for them. I'm telling you right now, categorically. You will hate your job. You will hate your job. You will. Don't go there. And it might be HR. It might be the hiring manager. But just don't do it, bro. Don't. Not good. I want to know, do I care that you're a VMware certified professional? No. I want to know if you can actually stand up a VM, if you can actually do anything with a VM, if you can actually test exploits in a VM. That'd be nice. Your cert, when I put you on engagement, does dick for me. Don't care. Walk onto a client engagement. I'm like incoherent with rage right now. Walk onto a client engagement where you're getting paid $300 an hour and slap your cert on the table and see what happens. Getting to that too? Gonna get to that. Yeah. So DoD 8750, what's his name? Somebody walked into the DISA conference and apparently successfully convinced everybody that everybody needs to have a CISSP if they're gonna touch any sensitive information. I'm gonna get to that, but the TLDR is get the cert, jump through the hoop, but be aware that you still need to do work. This is, for lack of a better, the douchiest thing I see on resumes. I made the joke before, but I think it's still a good one. People show this to me and ask, hey, if I get a CEH or a CISSP, will it make me a good hacker? Will it make me a good security professional? And I say, yes. Just like dousing yourself in Axe body spray will help you attract women.
Oh wait, that won't work so well here.
Fail. Yeah, very minor, but I see this a lot. Y'all like to bedazzle your resumes, specifically in InfoSec. Yeah, charts. We got charts. Here is a chart. Y'all like to put like weird, pretty colors on your resumes and bizarre horizontal lines, and yeah, it is Joe Blue Team.
I count about 4 different fonts on that.
You're actually right. There's probably more. And bizarre bullet points and tables and stuff like that. This is not that big a deal. I don't care that much, but it's something I see a lot in information security. Just black on white is fine. That's totally acceptable. Just chill. I don't need to see your Microsoft Word chops. That don't impress me much. Like, it's cool.
That's a good question.
So this person wanted to demonstrate how many years of experience or how many decades of experience he had in different industries. He's like, I've been in telco for
90 years.
10 years, and I've been in finance for this many years. And I'm like, dude, don't care. What can you...
Was he a manager?
PM.
All right.
You surprised?
It's management candy.
He also sent me a Gantt chart. All right, one more fail. This is fail. I italicized it, bolded it, underlined it, because it needs to be nicely formatted. All right, so this is a weird one. Your resume is not a junk drawer. This is one I'm somewhat sympathetic to. Raise your hand if you have a weird blended skill set. Hello. Would anybody like to briefly talk to me about their weird blended skill set? Meat cutter. Would meat cutter please stand up? Hi, what's your name? Gomez. Nice to meet you. I'm Eve. So, what do you do in security?
I'm a pen tester and
Okay. More network, app level? All of it? Okay. Do you mind saying who you work for? Nice. How did you get there from meat cutting? Yeah.
And then he needed his computer ghosted, so I ghosted his computer.
So you started with friggin' help desk and, all right. And then you busted into network. Yeah. And you just kept teaching yourself. Have you ever had to do anything with compliance? How annoying for you. So, thank you, Gomez. Can we all get a hand for Gomez? Cool. So, in that way, a lot of us have weird blended skill sets. A lot of us have done a lot of things. A lot of us may have been involved in compliance auditing. A lot of us may have gone like balls deep in reversing. A lot of us may have had to stand up entire SOCs in firewall environments. This doesn't mean you have to put all of this on one document. Fork your resume. It doesn't take that long. It initially sounds like a giant pain in the ass, but make different resumes that are targeted to different jobs that you're applying to. So, for example, if you want to do project management and firewall engineering, first of all, you're out of your mind, but you can fork your resumes that are relevant to the different jobs you're applying to. You can do that. It's okay. I see a lot of people just pouring everything they've ever done in their entire lives into one document, and then they complain, oh, well, HR won't accept a resume over 2 pages. And I'm like, first of all, I don't care how long your resume is, because I, in 3 years of recruiting, have touched like 2 paper resumes ever, so who cares? But apply and target your resume to the job you're applying to. You can do this. Sir, with the bunny ears. You're like teacher's pet over here. Do you have a question, or are you just trolling? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Keen observation, sir. How about you listen to my talk and you might find out? Maybe fail, can't tell. All right, so this is a good resume. This is also from an actual real resume used with permission. This is my dear friend, Jane Q. InfoSec. She works for Monolithic Financial Megacorp in Chicago, Illinois. Woo! Thank you, Chicago. So you can see, and this is, it's a big block of text, I know, it's not that easy to read, but you can see how Jane has integrated the tools. She's verbed the nouns. She's talking about tools. She's saying Landas, BigFix, Secunia, Shavlik, Rapid7, all that stuff. She's telling me specifically 2,000 employees and 5,000 hosts. She's being very specific about what she's done, who she supported, what it was for, and what the business objective was. Groovy. Love it. Nice short summary. The job title, and I'm going to talk about how job titles are stupid, but the job title, I don't care about that because I can see here exactly what Jane is doing. I know Jane isn't a pen tester. I know Jane's a defensive applications security engineer who has some leadership background, can manage others, and can do so in large-scale global environments. Perfect. Love it. Calling Jane, paying Jane a shitload of money. Done. This is win. Also good. At a more granular level, this is a pen tester. This pen tester is talking to me about exploits he's done. This pen tester, yes, talks about Burp Suite, says, yeah, I use Burp Suite. But then I went in and I jacked your app in these ways. Hired. Done. Get to this level of granularity. Tell me about how you're doing what you do. Beautiful. Not that complicated. All right, so this is win, by the way. All right, so we have a cool resume. How do we get a cool InfoSec job? There are 3 major kind of... Would you like to share with the rest of the class?
That's my fault. I was joking about the spray and pray.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, there will be lulls. So there are 3 major methodologies for job hunting, right? There's post and pray, which is you toss your resume up on a stupid job board like Dice or Monster or Indeed or whatever. I don't see a lot of you doing this. I encourage you to continue refraining from doing this because it's stupid for a variety of reasons. One, you know the dumbass recruiters who don't, you're all like, do you even read my resume? No, we don't even see your resume ever. We have evil magical robots that scrape the web and send you automated form emails that may or may not have anything to do with what you do. So if you are a person who incidentally mentioned that you broke into a Java application, you're going to get job recs about being a Java developer. Fail. Yeah, exactly. So don't do that. Don't throw your resume on job boards. Also, job boards are the glitter of the internet. You can't get it out. Ever. So, like, say you're 19 and you're living in your mom's basement and you're looking for your very first InfoSec job, and you toss it up there and you put your mom's address and phone number on there. I got your mom's number, bro. So don't do that. It's dumb. We all have your mom's phone number? Agreed. Ticket resolved. Enjoy. Spray and pray. I'm going to talk in a couple minutes about how job descriptions and job titles are ridiculous and stupid and full of flagrant lies. But the TLDR is just don't apply to what's posted. You can, but it's a waste of your time. Better, network in, make friends, come to things like DerbyCon. Who's local here? Hands up. Come on, Louisville Pride, come on. All right. Thank you. Who's from Chicago? Nice, representing. Okay. Where do you go in Chicago if you want to talk to security people? BurbSec. Right. ChiSec, MySec, DC 312. Go to these things. That's the best thing you can do if you're looking for a new job. And if there's nothing near you, start one. Just start it up. there are so many like-minded InfoSec professionals living next door to you. I randomly ran into a pen tester for one of my direct competitors when I moved, and he's like, oh yeah, I did that. Shit. We're everywhere. This is what you don't realize. When you live in the security echo chamber, you start to think, oh no, it's such a small community. The users don't get us. We don't really, there's not that many of us around. We're everywhere. We're legion. There's a community there for you, and you go to them and you say, all right, say you want to apply to Acme Corp. You find somebody at Acme Corp. Does anybody have open source intelligence skills here? No. Yeah. I do, but I'm a recruiter. So you find these people. You ideally find the hiring manager, find somebody who's working tangential to or above the person where you're working, and you say, hey, what's this job all about? What does it pay? What would I actually be doing? Those are the people you want to talk to. It's not HR. It's not recruiters. You want to talk to the people who are in or near the technical function that you're going to be in. So yeah, current employees, events, even recruiters, cons, meetups, the DC meetups, any OWASP meetup you can get to, even if you don't even application bro. Go to them. You will learn, and there will be job openings. So we were talking about stupid job descriptions that lie. Can anybody tell me what this person does? Security. Anyone?
Help desk. No. Project manager.
All-in-one IT.
It's inscrutable. The entire IT security department. They're a team lead.
If we have this many guesses, that's proof that you're right. It stinks.
Nobody knows.
The person who wrote it doesn't know either.
Can anybody tell me what an information security analyst does? Can anybody describe for me the actual function of a security analyst? You in the green. What? Yeah, checking all the boxes. PCI? Sick, bro. Okay. So this is standard. This is also from an actual real job description. People ask me a lot. Yeah, people ask me a lot. What's the hierarchy? Is an analyst above or below an engineer, and then is an architect above or below an engineer? It's all lies. It's all just garbage. Just don't even take any of it into consideration. Because I've got architects who are making $75K a year and engineers who are making $300K a year. HR, literally, they might as well have a randomizer. They have no idea. This is garbage, obviously. This will tell you nothing about what you're doing in an actual real work environment. So just take it as lies. It's just garbage. We all clear on that?
Yes.
Thank you. Good. So what do we do about this? We try to get close to somebody who's in the technical function, ideally the person you're reporting to. If not, somebody who is lateral to the job that you'd be in. Ask them. I'm telling you, do not talk to HR if you can possibly help it. Get away from them. They're the plague.
Job description teach you 90 hours a week to 100. That's a catch-all for everything possible.
Yeah, but okay, so yeah, moving on to that, this is a really good point that was raised. 90 to 100 hours a week based on this job description, because they can make you do anything they want and everything they want. So let's talk about that. Has anybody seen the Destroy All Software talk about Ruby?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Let's talk about Ruby. What? Let's talk about shitty job descriptions. All right, sometimes the job descriptions are actually impossible.
Oh. local in Nome, Alaska.
Callie hasn't been out in 5 years. Yeah.
Thank you, Jim. This is the point.
Captain Office.
All right. So yeah, a lot of the time I hear a lot back from candidates, man, they want all these certs and I gotta be in this one place at this one time and I have to have 5 years of experience in something that came out in February. The 700 pounds is actually from a real job description. I think they meant 70. I don't know. Yeah, Adrian Crenshaw could do this job. But, so you gotta realize there's a certain level of magical realism, if anyone is familiar with that concept, to job descriptions. They would love somebody who had 5 years of Kali Linux, if Kali Linux had been out for 5 years. They would love somebody with all of these certifications. They would love somebody with a certain actuarial math. But you get them on the phone, you talk to them, and they're like, actually, we don't need that. We just need somebody who's a decent engineer or who's a decent... Say again? Exactly. Well, no. I mean... The intent is not to scare off. I'm not HR. Ask .hack what happens if you call me HR. But I'm not HR. But the intent of HR is not to scare you off. They need you. They're desperate for you. They're desperate for security talent. But they just don't know what they're doing. They're just clueless. They're not malicious. They're just clueless. So I am encouraging all of you to go into any job application process with the knowledge that probably the first line of people you're talking to is absolutely clueless. Not trying to hurt you, just doesn't know anything about you. Sorry. On a more positive note, what you can do about these qualifications is just kind of ignore them. Just say, oh, I see you want this. I see you want Kali Linux. I see you want these certs. Read between the lines. Say, hey, it looks like you want a pen tester. Talk about pen tests you've done. We covered your resume. Talk about stuff you've broken. That's what you do with that. What? It is. So yeah, job descriptions can be legally binding documents, usually written by non-practitioners, i.e. HR, sometimes legal. There's therefore a high degree of vagueness and cover your ass in them. There's a reason for all of this. What can I say? We're years away from a solution. But we're hackers, right? You could get in. Get the real story by asking the hiring authority or someone who has contact with them or who is lateral to them. Good thing about networking in, you can learn about jobs before they're open. I have hired people for jobs that did not actually exist at the time they were hired. So this is the cool thing about networking. This is the cool thing if you go to B-sides, if you go to meetups, if you go to, I don't know what it's like here, but in Chicago, literally every week, there's something. You're not alone. Go talk to people and be friendly. I know a lot of us are like social anxiety disorder ridden bit, but get over it. Just, you see somebody who has a job that you think is cool, just go talk to them. Just say, hey, that sounds like a cool job. Let's talk. You're not going to get fired. There's this perception that like, oh God, my boss hears me talking to a recruiter, I'm going to get fired. Your boss should hear you talking to a recruiter. Your boss should be proud you're talking to a recruiter. It's kind of like if somebody hits on your wife. Like, yeah. Right? It's how it should be. You should be wanted. Yeah.
So what does it mean, learn about jobs before they're open? You're saying, like,
the next time they're hiring?
Okay.
They want to hire you even though there's not a spot.
So like I said, they don't know they need you, right? So Acme Corp ships an application, doesn't know it needs to be secure. You walk into Acme Corp and say, hey bro, you're not secure. Can I help you with that? It would cost you way less to pay me than it would to get breached. Like that. I'm not saying it's the easiest way to get a job, but I am saying it is a good way to get a good job. Yes, sir.
Along that same vein, a lot of us in this industry just like to get directly to the point and just penetrate through and say, you're not secure, but on the flip side, you're almost insulting them. And that creates a gate that now you need to get through.
So the best way to do that is you create a professional relationship first. You create a relationship of trust. You talk to them and you say, hey, I'm actually interested in your product, or I'm actually interested in your service. And just FYI, your product and or your service is not secure. And I want to help you with that. And I'm not trying to screw you by taking your money to do that. But I would like for your product and or your service to be secure.
Here's where I've done it before. Backing up that.
Yeah.
Capable of doing it.
Precisely.
I'd like to make you my first science project.
Precisely. Yeah. Cool story, bro. So we're talking about God, you're all so important. Yes?
It fell into your last slide where you were talking about Twitter.
Yeah.
I looked at the hashtag InfoSec jobs last week and reached out to some guy and then got a call from a team manager. Like, it works.
I'm about to talk about that.
Sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's a segue. He's just giving you a segue.
You.
I was going to say, what is the standard protocol for leaving a good job for a better job? I feel like a lot of people don't go for that better job because they're scared of leaving and burning bridges at their current company.
I'm going to get to that too.
She's got it all.
So we're talking about bridging the gap between the hunter and the hunted. Just going to put that there. That was from last year. Such a trip. Perhaps because we outdrank the Kentucky Derby, that might have had something to do with it, just a little bit. So how do we do this? We have a kick-ass resume. We know how to interview. We know how to negotiate. Now what? FAQs I get, like all you people who are so important over here. Big FAQ I get. Had somebody who, do you remember when Paris Hilton's iPhone or Sidekick was hacked? That was not me. Paris Hilton's Sidekick was hacked, and I talked to the guy who did that. He's like, actually, I'm really proud of that. Like, I'm really proud of having done that because I was in my lab and it took a long time and it was really complicated and difficult. He's like, can I talk about that? I'm like, yeah. You fuzz it. You say, I did independent mobile exploit research.
Beautiful.
You say it like that. So yeah. You may encounter mistrust. Establish trust. What's the fix for this? Establish trust. Then tell what you learned. In that way. Not, I saw Paris Hilton nudes. Say, independent mobile exploit development in my lab. Community involvement, yeah. Talk about how you're coming to DerbyCon, how you're coming to DEF CON, how you're coming to the B-sides, how you're coming to the burp sacks, how you're doing everything. Put that down at the bottom of your resume. That makes me know that you're not just a money slut. That you're doing this for fun. You're doing this because you love it. That's why I do it.
Fun and profit.
Fun and profit. A little bit of profit. A little bit. Mention all the things. Other projects, patents, publications. Yeah, throw them in. Fine. Jane Q InfoSec, you may remember, was a circuit design geek. Worked out well for Jane Q InfoSec because she interviewed with an electrical engineering geek. So that was cool incidentally, but just use your best judgment. I mean, if you're questioning whether to put something on a resume, just research the person who's gonna see it. Cool. Cool story, bro. Why is my resume getting so many bites, or irrelevant bites, or no bites at all? Dumb recruiting software, we covered this with the evil magical bots. We're years away from a solution. Just give up, man. You can troll them back. That can be fun. Your local market might suck. I kind of already covered how you might have to go out and pound pavement and say, hey, I noticed your website has massive gaping SQLi volumes all over it. Can I help you with that? You can do that. Don't be shy. Go do it. Sir.
It's very important to watch the phrasing you use when you come to companies with something like that. A lot of them now.
Can you stand up? And raise your voice, please. This is Johnny Christmas, everybody.
It's very important to watch the phrase you use when you are coming to a company with, I noticed your website has X vulnerabilities, or I found this huge rate of paper that seems to have important numbers out of the dumpster. A lot of companies don't violate them. There's not enough of us to be able to take care of all the vulnerabilities in their company.
No.
A huge chunk of them in most cases. And these companies know that there are vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
They know they don't have the manpower, and they don't have the money. And so their problem may be that they don't have the money to pay you to fix these vulnerabilities. And so what some of them might do is turn around and file a blackmail charge.
That's a very important point you're making. Thank you for that. Because there may be legal repercussions for doing this. But if we're talking about on the level of a scan that anyone can do, it is a gray area. And you don't want to get weaved. Don't get weaved. Yes, thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Don't get weaved. Like I say, perhaps I underemphasize the idea that you do need to establish trust. You do need to establish that these people are not going to sue you. 0 minutes. Fuck. Any time for Q&A?
Not outside.
All right, let me get to the TLDR. No, I don't care about certifications, and you can't make me, but if you have to work for the government, then go get them and jump through the hoop, but they're not that important. Sick. No. Don't be soft skills problematic. Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Be this guy. That's supposed to say fights for the users, then gives them the hugs, and I did that literally 10 minutes before my talk, but no Q&A? No time. Thank you.